Hey, hey, Julian. How is everybody? I'm running a bit late because my aide decided to come like 3 hours early. The background, stupid thing. Gotta fix this one day. The one with the writing. No, that's breaking news. It's gotta be this one. Ugh. Good afternoon, Julianne. I'm running around here crazy right now. See, my aide that comes and cleans the house and stuff, she usually doesn't come until 3 o'clock my time. At 11 o'clock, she was knocking on my door, and she's usually here for 2 hours. But she got what she needed to do done in an hour. Good grief. So we got to do settings, that, audio, change that. There. So how is everybody this afternoon? How's Julianne? I have lots to cover this afternoon. Oh, I have news on that front. Let's see. Can you hear me? My earbuds are not always working right. Um, you, they, Benny from the Benny Show just this morning reported that USAID was funding Alvin Bragg's office, funding Fannie Willis's office, and funding all the departments that were prosecuting Trump, including Jack Smith. And I am of the opinion USAID needs to be shut down, period. End of story. We should not be giving cash to any country for any reason. If they need supplies, they can buy them from us. Yeah, Jack. Oh, there's new info that's going to be coming out in the next couple of days. As soon as they vote for Cash Patel, right? USAID was transformed, I guess would be the right word, and its whole purpose was for the CIA to launder money and to topple governments, including our own. So, because of that, it's my opinion it should be shut down. I know there are people that disagree with that, but my attitude is we are almost $37 trillion in debt. We need to get control of this before we end up in the World Bankruptcy Court, which will screw all of us. But something that I wanted us to talk about is Secretary of State Marco Rubio went to Panama. The Panamanian president was on TV last week saying that the Panama Canal is their property and they have the right to do whatever they want with it, blah, 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 blah. And Marco took the treaty with him. And after Marco met with him for an hour and told him in Spanish how that they had been violating not one section of the treaty, 6 separate sections of the treaty, and that according to the treaty, that we had the right to decide if it's a violation and no one else, and we had the right to take the Panama Canal back by force if we needed to. And the this is how dumb the Panamanian president is. He says, well, we'll just cancel the Belt and Road contract with China. China ain't going to let them do that. You know what I mean? China is not going to let them just cancel it. They're going to pitch a fit. And see, another issue that there was with the canal is that, right, they don't want it because it's it's what I call a bait and switch. They promise to help them build roads, and then they come in and say, well, we built the road, we paid for it, now we own that section of road. And it might be a thoroughfare through the middle of the country, and China says, nope, we own it now. Oh, wow. I know that up near Costa Rica, they're trying to build another canal like the Panama Canal. They're not doing well. They are not. They want it to be twice as wide as the Panama Canal. And at last estimate, they said it would take 20 years to complete. And see, Carter really screwed us. I didn't know this until I did some research on this treaty. And we bought, we physically see Panama before we put in the Panama Canal was not a country. It was part of Colombia. And we purchased it. It was ours. We bought that property from Colombia and set up the Panamanian government to, quote, manage the Panama Canal that we built. That was our property. And stupid Jimmy Carter, one thing Carter did on this treaty, he put provisions in there like that we, the U.S. alone, decides if there's a violation, and that we decide how to handle the violation, and that no other country or entity can, what's the word, negotiate our decision, that we alone make the decision. I thought that was a good thing that he did. And another thing that he did, he put in there that if they violated any one section of the treaty, that we had the right to take the canal back by military force if necessary. Well, they violated not one section of the treaty. They violated six separate sections of the treaty. The treaty physically states that no other country the Panama cannot cede control of the canal to any other country. That doing so is a violation that will trigger, how's it worded? Trigger the use of military force to take it back. Use of force to take it back. And after Marco showed all of this to him in an hour, speaking to him in Spanish, he caved. He said, "We will just cancel the Belt and Road Initiative with China." And I thought, like they're going to let you do that. They are going to throw a fit, take it to the UN, take it wherever, but it's our decision and ours alone. Hey, Zach. Well, thanks for stopping in, Zach. You're always welcome. Even if you listen for just a few minutes, you're always welcome here. But, you know, I had questioned whether Marco Rubio was the right person for Secretary of State. And just what I've seen him do in the last just couple of days, I'm now convinced that he's the right person for the job. The next thing on his agenda, he was going, either today or tomorrow, he was going to go visit the border. And then he's going to Greenland. And see, here's the issue. The issue is the people of Greenland want to be a U.S. territory. They wanted that for 100 years. There's there's proof on record that we have been trying to buy Greenland for the last 100 years. But here's the other problem with Greenland. They have rubies the size of baseballs, literal baseballs. And the, the government of Denmark will not let them mine or do anything to infect the, affect the environment in any way. So even though the the teenager said we can walk into the mines and pick them up with baskets, but Denmark has told us we are not to touch them. We are not allowed to improve ourselves, not improve, mine our resources in any way. Yeah, Denmark's going to lose big time because I did not know this until I researched this for this stream. Okay, where Greenland sits off the coast of Canada, the Chinese and the Russians used the intercoastal waterway between Greenland and Canada as their route to the Arctic Circle. It's of our national security interest to protect Greenland because we cannot allow Russia or China to control Greenland. We just cannot allow that. So little Marco's on the job and he will get it done. I believe that. I believe that firmly that he will get it done. Yes, speaking Spanish helps. And something else that helps that people pass over, like zoom like a jet over their head. Melania speaks 7 languages fluently and writes 14. Or is it 5? I know she speaks a whole bunch of languages and then she can write half as many as she speaks. That's impressive. I've known people that can speak a couple of languages, but if she can speak 7 languages, five, I thought she could speak 7 and write 5. Is my mathing today? Ken Wheeler is a polyglot, but he is also, yeah, he is. And I might be related to him. I have some cousins named Wheeler. Peoria, this is Ken Wheeler. Apophysis, is that the way that's pronounced? The PH pronounced like an F? Peoria, apophysis, right? I enjoy this channel because I learned so much. Um, I had discussions with Laugh Always, camera expert and a science guy. I should look him up because I'm going to be getting a new camera for my modeling photography. Over 6,000 videos. Wow, that's a lot. I mean, my this channel is, oh, excuse me, almost 6 months old, and I have almost 3,000 videos, and it's taken 6 months. See, all of my relatives are Wheeler relatives are from Oklahoma. Where is he from? Do you know? Well, I would disagree with him on that because there have been, he's in Kentucky. You know what part of Kentucky? Because I have relatives on my mom's side from Western Kentucky by Paducah, Lexington. Okay, I know where Lexington is at. It's kind of southwest. But I really enjoy this channel, and I'm really enjoying my new, yeah, Lexington is preppy town. It's college town. That's where the University of Kentucky is, in Lexington. It's kind of the center of the state, but towards the south and the west in the center of the state. I had a chance to go and live in Kentucky. See, one of my relatives, uh, Hank Paris, is famous in Kentucky. Well, he was famous in Chicago. He had this machine shop that repaired locomotive diesel engines, and they had a big crankshaft from a locomotive out in the front. When he passed away, his son moved that crankshaft by his shop in Iuka, Kentucky, and they uh, took his 1,000 acre farm, 500 acre farm, and split it up into 5 acre lots and made what's now called Paris Estates. So that's a little bit of interesting history and trivia from Kentucky, from my mom's side of the family. Yeah, that stuff is way above my pay grade. Yeah, I would have to see his historical proof on that. So, where do you think Marco is going to go next after Greenland? Yeah, right. I'm wondering if he's going to go to Canada because Trudeau is just not smart. I posted on my X account all of the products that Canada charges us a tariff, some 200 to 240%, like on dairy items like milk is 200%, cheese is 245%, and so on. Let me see if I can bring it up here because it's interesting that they are fussing about um, tariffs when they charge us tariffs. And the tariffs, I'm going to show you, right? Pierre is really running circles around Trudeau. Let me show you this. Let's do this one first, and then do this. And about an overlay. No, so we can't do an overlay. We can do it as a background, maybe. No, I'm talking to myself while I'm doing this. We'll see how it works. Okay, so we'll start at the bottom. Oops, no, that won't work. So let's go up here, maybe. No, oh, format. Maybe. No, stupid thing. Where did it put you at? Oh, well, we'll have to do it as an overlay and then delete it. Okay, so any day now. Here's some of the things that Canada charges us: 270% tariff on milk, 245% on cheese, 298% on butter, 230% on chicken. You can see there, all the way down to even HVAC products, vacuums, and cable boxes, and TVs, and steel, and aluminum. And there's one more, but it won't load for some reason. Is it that one? I think it was that one that wouldn't load. No, that's that one. Maybe. Yeah, that one and that one are the same. So we can delete this one. Library. This one, maybe. Trying to figure things out on the fly. Doesn't always work, does it? Well, that's not the same, is it? That's the first one. And then that's the second one. Shows aluminum and copper. And then why is that one showing the same? Unless I uploaded the wrong one, which is possible. Oh, them two are the same, the last two. I don't know why. Well, you get the idea. Here, let's delete these while I'm right here. And them two are the same, so we delete that one. Okay, so now go down here to background, delete these. Why does no range for that? Sure. So that is not the right one. Jeez. We gotta do the banner, which is this one. Here. Right. Because we don't buy stuff made in Canada. Actually, that's not true. Italian does not translate to Hebrew. Italian translate to Spanish. The Italian language and the Spanish language are almost the same. Okay, he translated the Hebrew into Italian, but that doesn't mean that the Italian is a base language from Hebrew. That means he just translated it from Hebrew to Italian. I know a lot about Spanish language because my middle brother has a condo in Mazatlan. Okay, so I misunderstood what you said. I'm sorry. But so, how many does it show that are watching the stream, Julianne? Okay, because I would be glad when I get the MacBook because the people that I talked to that are using the MacBook said the software for the MacBook is much more easy to use and much more user friendly. This version for iPad is not user friendly at all, and their tech support is a literal joke. So everybody that's listening, be sure to like, share, and subscribe and help us grow this channel. My goal kind of got messed up the other day, but my goal is to get 500 to 500 and get this channel monetized by the end of February. So I'm in several chats and I know pushing the channel, those that will let me self-promote. There are some that will absolutely not let you self-promote, which I don't think is a good thing. We're here to share in each other's experience, and as long as you're not being, I don't know what the right word is. Yeah, I'm working on some things. I used to do just lawfare, but several of the trials I cover are on break for like several months. So I have to fill in with something. So I decided, since I have an interest in politics, to fill in with politics until we get some lawfare going back up again. And I have several people that I talk to that just rave about my knowledge, but they're not always in the chat. But I'm glad that they recognize when I go in other chats, they say, "Hey, Sapphire, you're my guy. I go and watch your videos and your lives, even though I can't be there when you are live. I go afterwards and I watch all your stuff." That means a lot. You know what I mean? Dog's barking at somebody. Oh, maybe. I don't know if the UPS guy is here or not. He's supposed to come by today and tomorrow. Yeah, there's a lot of competition. You just have to stay unique, which I think I'm kind of unique in that I do a lot of history and not history, research. I don't know why this stupid thing does this. Hold on. Let me see. There. I don't know why it does that every once in a while. If I go from one screen to the other, it will make things all weird. So let me fix this again. Okay, there we go. We're all ready now. Yes, I do have a lot of competition in how I try to keep my channel unique. Like I started to say before the screen messed up, is that I do a lot of research. And sometimes I show videos, sometimes I just talk to you about what knowledge I read about. Okay, I'll check him out. Something interesting's going on with the executive branch. So yesterday, was it yesterday? Well, it would have been the day before, but late in the afternoon. President Trump sent it's called a future resignation letter, where you send the letter, the person has to put resign in the reply and send it back to you. But they're giving them an 8-month severance package where they can draw their regular salary for 8 months and go work somewhere else. What kind of crazy is that? That you can draw your salary, your full salary and benefits from the government for 8 months and go get a job somewhere else. Right. Yeah, I know 8 months is, but some people are saying, well, they should have got nothing. Well, you're not going to get a mass amount of people to leave the government unless you offer them something, because you want to clean out all the holdovers from prior administrations so that you can rehire competent people that aren't going to reach around and stab you in the back. You know, there's this disturbing video going around on X that I don't know why it hasn't been flagged. You see this little girl just sobbing and crying, and her mom has her arm around her, holding her down and saying, "It's going to be okay, honey. It's going to be okay." Then they pan out, and they're doing a what I'll describe as a top surgery under no fucking anesthetics. They're doing it with the girl awake, and she's sobbing and crying. And this stupid bitch mom is saying, "It's okay, honey. You're going to be okay." Knock that bitch out and get that kid out of there, right? And put them doctors in jail. They ought to be in jail for doing top surgeries on little girls. We're talking little girls. This girl was probably not more than 10 years old. That stuff just sends me through the roof. And I can't watch all of it because I'll get even madder. So can you hear me okay, Julianne? So I'm supposed to be able to hover over this stupid thing. See, I got this, I call it an icon, but it keeps count of how many people are watching. Hey, Bink, how's my nephew today? I was just telling Julianne that I saw a video on X. This little girl was sobbing and crying, and her mom had her arm around her neck, telling her, "It's going to be okay, baby. You're going to be okay." And then it pans out. and the doctors are doing a top surgery with this little girl awake. The doctors need to be in friggin' jail, and the mom needs to be in jail too. I saw that. I said, knock that bitch out and drag that kid out of there under no anesthetic, just a local craziness. And then people wonder why we want that shit shut down because they're cruel. Because that is cruel to do that type of surgery on a little girl with her awake. That just sends me to the roof because I care about people. I care about kids, especially little kids. Bink knows how I care about little kids, about my nieces and nephews and their kids. Just drives me crazy when I see that stuff, doesn't it, Bink? Bink, I told your mom that you listened to my live stream. She didn't reply back. I don't even barely watch TV anymore. I just watch YouTube videos, learn about stuff, learn how to do different things. I told one of my friends that I think that YouTube channels like mine eventually are going to take the place of mainstream media because we have the flexibility to do research, to share that research with an audience. Oh no, what was wrong with Brandy? I never liked those kind of dogs until Brandy. Great dog. Tell her I'm sorry to hear about Brandy because Brandy was a good dog. Yeah, Kim and Kevin Ehlers, they come and watch my channel, but because I'm on during the day, they're both at work, so they go and watch my videos. Sorry to hear that. Yeah, I was talking to Britt and told her when something happens to Uncle Tom, unless it happens next month, but it sounds like it's going to be like soon. I won't be able to go to the funeral because my car needs a bunch of work done to it, which I can't do until the first of the month. So what I'm thinking of doing is going to Illinois in the summer. Um, let's see. He was, he's got to be in his 80s. Terry Kruger told me yesterday I made her cry. I didn't mean to make her cry. I told her um, that her dad was much loved in the family and that he was a valued and integral part of our family. She said that made her cry because not valued, he's a treasured part of our family, which he is. Damn, hold on. Oh, this one ear pod is always falling out. I need to just get the Apple ear pods, but I don't want to spend the money. They're like $169. I don't want to spend that kind of money. I spent I complained about spending $30 for these. I really like them, but I thought that was too much, you know. Hold on. I have an idea. Excuse me. There, I sent Terry Kruger a message. We talk on text like once a week. Sometimes it goes longer, but I know she's busy because she goes from her house to their house. She stays at their house for a week at a time, goes home and handles her stuff. Girl's busy, you know. They're in the process of shutting down USAID. And something interesting Cash Patel said at his hearing the other day. He said that the FBI building in DC should be shut down and should be made a museum for all the things the FBI should not do. Then, when they asked him, well, where should the FBI be? He said, the FBI should be located out in the central part of the country. I think we ought to take and put it right in the middle of Missouri, right in the middle of a red district. Right. See, our forefathers never wanted centralized government. They wanted the Congress and the Senate to be in D.C., but they made it a district because they never wanted it to be a state. In um, in the founding fathers' writings, they said they did not ever want us to have centralized government because then we would turn into England, and that they despised that form of government. So over the last few decades, we have made our government more and more centralized. And if you look at the Constitution, that's not what they wanted. We were just talking about USAID, and I get this text message while we're talking about it. It says, breaking news. Trump names Marco Rubio head of USAID amid, where's it at? Amid claims the agency did what? Amid agency turmoil. Oh, as they mull the future of it, Marco's in charge. They ought to hate that, right? Oh, let's see. Gotta check something here. See you later, Julianne. Thank you for stopping by. Gotta check something. I might deliver it today. All right. So I'm gonna pull the plug here on this. Let me go here. Oops, wrong one. Gotta go to background. Thank you for stopping by, everybody. Yeah. Yep, we've been here for an hour and 2 minutes, and it shows 17 people watching, but that's split up between YouTube and on X. And the people on X usually sending me a message later that they watched it. So, love you, Bink. Talk to you later on. Bye now.